Oh my traveler, please just take a moment to observe the range, stability, and fluidity of this SMG when you get it up and running, and then we'll break down how I crafted mine and why.
Like that. Cut their momentum. Keep pushing. I've only seen.
I remember a couple of weeks into this season, a prominent content creator tweeted that they were just going to stick to the same weapons they had been using for several seasons, since the weapons that came with the Witch Queen were all so bad. Now, I cannot stress enough just how fantastically incorrect that statement was, in my opinion, and how fun this season's weapon grind and crafting grind has been. Now, the crafting grind, obviously, we've given feedback about how we want that to be a little bit more approachable, but that's already feedback that's been given, and we know they're working on it. But one of the weapons that stands out to me is the Raid SMG, the Submission. I've already racked up 1,600 kills on the Submission. I've managed to snag a solo flawless run Tuesday morning before reset with it, and I've basically tossed my Multi-Mach back into the vault indefinitely in favor of the Submission. And I know that's a bold statement, but I'm going to make you understand why I did it in this video. So let me unpack what I did with mine, how I crafted it, and what purpose my weapon serves. In this video, you'll see plenty of kill streaks where I'm chaining kills with the perks on the SMG, and it turns the weapon into a monster of a gun. I crafted mine with one thing in mind. I want to have an SMG that turns me into a boulder tumbling down a hill. The Multi-Mach is an S-tier raw dueling weapon, no doubt. In threes, it's arguably the best SMG out there, up there with Shira's Wrath. With Iron Reach, the SMG can stretch its range out further than most SMGs can hang. The god rolls on the Multi-Mach are about making the gun push the limits of an SMG in a 1v1 duel, and it tends to serve an entirely different purpose than the Submission, and that's definitely a good thing. If the Submission had a perk pool that tried to force the same identity on the SMG that Multi-Mach shares, then it would be a completely pointless weapon, right? Remove Multi-Mach, put in a replacement. That's pretty boring. But with the Submission, it's all about momentum. Now, to be fair, Multi-Mach did have the Killing Wind and Kill Clip combo, but I found that not a lot of people actually have it. It was hard to target farm the Multi-Mach because of the way that Iron Banner loot is dispersed and distributed. And now the Multi-Mach is gone, so you can't actively pursue that that role anymore. So even so, pursuing that role meant opting out of the perks that really elevated the gun, like the Iron Reach rolls. But with the Submission, there are tons of engagements in this video where I'm dueling someone and my 900 RPM SMG has 100 stability, while also getting plus 20 range, while also getting plus 40 handling, while also getting plus 50 mobility, while also getting a massive buff to accuracy, the accuracy cone. All because I just get one kill. That's it, one kill, and boom. I've got a literal maelstrom of buffs swirling around me, enhancing my movement and weapon performance in just about every single category. There's also duels in this video where I have, a plus 50 range buff with the SMG. I'm going to break down the perks now, but if all of the math starts to get confusing, just remember this basic truth. If you craft the gun with the perks that I suggest today, you'll get a wide variety of insanely helpful buffs every time you get a kill. So let's start with the main perks. I went with Enhanced Encore and Killing Wind. I feel like Encore is a perk that most people avoid because of its complexity. Most people don't understand it and therefore avoid it. But on specific weapon types, this perk can be a serious game changer. Let me explain it for you. Anytime you get a precision kill with your weapon, you're going to get a plus 10 range bonus for 7 seconds. A little longer if you have the enhanced version. 7 seconds is a generous timer, by the way. Kill clip is only 5 seconds, and you often find yourself wishing you had just a couple of extra seconds to recover your health and reload the gun before pushing with it. Every time you get a precision kill, Encore is going to add another stack to your pile, up to 3 stacks, for a total of plus 30 range to your weapon. But let's say you don't get a precision kill. Let's say you get a body shot kill. If that happens, it will remove one of your stacks of the Encore range buff and apply a different buff altogether. This new buff will grant you plus 30 stability, which is absolutely massive, and will also grant a huge bonus to your accuracy cone. So if you had 2 stacks of the range buff and then you landed a body shot kill, now you have a total of plus 10 range since 1 stack got removed, but you also get plus 30 stability and an accuracy cone buff. One thing to note as well is that if you don't have any stacks of the range buff at all, it will still apply the stability buff, even though there's no stack to refund. So getting a body shot kill with no stacks is essentially the same thing as getting a body shot kill with 1 stack. So in summation, get kill, gun go burr. Anytime you get a kill with this weapon, it's going to be greatly enhanced in terms of its neutral performance for 7 seconds. Once you get more acclimated to the cadence, you'll better understand the buffs that you're getting and when. It's a much more involved way of playing the game, and I really, really like that. But the buffs, they don't end there. We're going to keep them coming. The second perk I'm using is Killing Wind. This isn't a new perk, unless you're speaking about the grand scheme of Destiny's lifespan. Most of us are pretty familiar at this point with Chris Proctor's first major contribution to the Destiny perk pool. Killing Wind grants a wide variety of buffs for 5 seconds after every kill, including plus 20 range, plus 50 mobility, and plus 40 handling, as well as a massive reduction to the movement penalty while ADS'd. The enhanced version of the perk extends the duration so you can capitalize on it for longer. Kills while the timer is active grant an additional 5 seconds to the buff, up to a total of 8 seconds. So you're probably starting to piece together what's going on here. The buffs from Killing Wind, in tandem with the buffs from Encore, are mind-bogglingly huge. You can get potentially plus 50 range while also getting bonuses to mobility, handling, and ADS movement speed. You could be getting plus 30 stability and plus 40 range at the same time as all those other benefits as well. It's all about momentum, speed, violence, and disrespecting your opponent's dueling weapon. To be clear, the submission may at its base get outperformed by a Multi-Mach in terms of range alone. After getting a single kill, the submission completely eclipses the Multi-Mach in almost every way imaginable. And to me, that's awesome. See, I love 6s, and I love holding forward and playing hyper-aggressive in 6s, and this SMG thrives in that environment. I've had multiple 50-kill games, dozens of 40-plus kill games with this SMG since crafting it, and even a 40-kill streak. I feel like people get caught up on range alone with these SMGs. What's the range? Is it better than Multi-Mach? I don't get too hung up on that because I tend to use the SMG at close quarters, and I don't tend to try to force the SMG to work outside of its intended ranges. I have my other weapon for that. I take mid-range duels with my pulse rifle, or my scout rifle, or my auto rifle, or my sniper rifle. And you don't tend to have a problem in Destiny with getting close to people. It's harder to keep them at arm's length, if anything. So, while the base range on the Multi-Mach is considerably better, the submission has better stability, so it's easier to use, and can acquire 7 massive buffs after just 1 kill. That makes it easier to use, easier to chain kills with, and also impacts the accuracy of the weapon in a positive way between the accuracy cone and range modifiers. So that's my case for why you should absolutely try to get your hands on this weapon. I know it's a challenge for some folks, considering many people don't do raids. I'm going to suggest that you find a way to raid, okay? The benefits of doing Vow of the Disciple are just too great. There's a guy named Seeker, and I'll link his account, his Twitter account, in the pinned comment and in the description. And Seeker, he takes people through raids for free almost every day. So follow him on Twitter, reach out to him there, ask when you can get involved in a run. He'll teach you the ropes and make sure that you get some raid loot with his team of great folks who are completely non-toxic. I raid with them almost every week. So good luck in all of your farming endeavors. I hope every one of you manages to get a decent roll on this weapon. so that you can see why I fell in love with it and why I'm struggling to put it down right now. So please feel free to leave a like on the video only if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for additional Destiny 2 content. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.